Hello, everybody. Adam Parks here with another episode of Receivables Roundtable. Today, I'm here with two of my good friends that have been teaching me about the subrogation business for many years now, Mr. Steve Goldstein and Mr. Paul Allen. How you guys doing today?
Great. You?
Doing well, thank you. Doing well.
I cannot complain. These gentlemen are with First Financial Asset Management, or FFAM360, and have been managing the subrogation division for many years now. Just for those of you watching that are not familiar with these gentlemen, let's start off. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to the seat that you're in today?
That's a long story. After the military, I joined the police department in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And then I fell in love with Phoenix, Arizona. So I moved to Phoenix and I went to work for a collection agency that had been around since 1946 with ACB Business Services. Stayed with them until about 2006 when I came to work with Steve. He and I had met at ACB years and years ago, and came to work for him in 2006 to run his office in Phoenix. And in 2010, I took the role of Chief Operating Officer for the FFAM360 companies.
Awesome. Steve, can you tell us a little about yourself and how you got to the seat that you're in today?
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
History. Yeah, well, I've been in this game a long time and all aspects of it. But in terms of the subrogation insurance, I had left Compass Receivables Management when that was bought and acquired by NCO, and then I acquired a small company in Arizona that specialized in the subrogation business. And that was in the 90s. And then in the early 2000s, I got together with John Maloney, and we merged my company, Fidelity Risk Solutions, into what is First Financial Asset Management, which is now rebranded to FFAM360. And so we had that specialized division. And then about 2015, the board decided that we were going to kind of take all of our different companies and we were really going to key in and specialize and grow this division. We felt that the future was so bright with it, looking at all the other markets. We decided to put the time into that. And so that's kind of when I took over all of the division on the subrogation and the rental car space.
Well, speaking of the subrogation and rental car space, can you tell us a little bit about what FFAM 360 does in that space?
Well, yeah, we handle subrogation for the big rental car companies, the national companies, and we also do some of the other product lines for them. We're quite diversified with them, with forced charges, chargebacks, the subrogation. That's really the main part of that function.
Okay. So I know as part of your subrogation platform and what you guys do in the subrogation space, you have a tool called the Strategic Analytical Scoring Methodology, which is a data-driven program, right? And I know that you guys are really proud of what you've developed there. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what the SASM platform is and what goal it accomplishes on behalf of insurance companies?
Yeah, I'll let Paul speak to a little bit of that, but quite frankly, how it came to be was, again, about 3 or 4 years ago, Paul and I were trying to look at different ways that we could increase that division, the revenue, bringing on the national insurance companies that you see. And tried to figure out a program that, how could we do that? And taking, our analytics analysis from our debt buying division. And Paul really helped figure that program out and how we put it all together. You want to talk a little bit about it, Paul?
Sure. So Steve alluded to the debt buying arm of our business. And, with the work that I do across all the different business units, when he and I were sitting down talking about what could we bring to the industry that's different than anybody else.
Mhm.
One of the things that we landed on was the fact that we had all these analytics from all the debt purchases that we had done, plus all the analytics that we had from all the different portfolios that we worked for, banking units and medical units.
Mhm.
So we went back to our developers and we said, what can you do for us in the subrogation space? And they built us a unique model that really picks data points that are public information, because with subrogation, you can't use any credit-based information.
Okay.
So with those data points, we were able to develop a model, and we tested it for 18 months blindly. We didn't let anybody know that we were gathering the data, none of the collectors, none of the managers. So
Mhm.
we just worked the business as we normally would. And we then went, and we were looking at it throughout that period of time. And we developed the model, and we're able to pinpoint specific balance sizes for different consumers that showed they had the ability to pay those different balances, and we applied a score to each of those, and it was all based on historical data that we had gathered. So it gives us the opportunity, in a nutshell, to tell you as the client, these accounts that you just gave us, these people have the ability to pay the balance in full. These people may need to do a payment arrangement. These people will definitely need a settlement, and these people just don't have the ability to pay. So we should probably work out the best possible arrangement for them.
Sure.
So it really gives us the ability to drive down to the consumer level. And one thing that really validated our model was about 2.5 years ago. I got a claim for one accident for three different consumers
Mhm.
that had bought insurance from one of our carriers. The party at fault, though, was who we got the account to collect on. I looked at the account, and I had the consumer, and I had 3 different claims with 3 different scores. So I went back to our developers and I said, all right, why does Steve Goldstein have 3 different scores on these files? And I'm just using Steve as an example.
Understood.
And they said, because you have 3 different balances. So it really proved that Steve had the ability to pay the smallest balance in full. The medium balance he would need to break up into payments,
Mhm.
and the really high balance account, because that's the car that had the most damage,
Mhm.
that had the lowest score. He didn't have the ability to pay that balance. So it truly works based on the balance and the consumer's ability to pay that dollar amount. So if you have 5 or 6 accounts with us, you may have 5 or 6 different scores.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the name of the program is Strategic Analytical Scoring Method. That's what the acronym stands for,
Mhm.
and it truly does do that. That's how we came up with it. And then it just took off because, we have 8, 10 of the top insurance companies in the world. And when we went into them, we said, you have all of these accounts. Let us test the program with these accounts that have just been in the shelves. You have no money coming in,
Mhm.
and let's see how the program does. And that's really how it got started. And it proved out to win.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the scoring model here, you're predicting the propensity of a particular account to be repaid, allowing you to uh, prioritize collection efforts on those accounts that have that highest propensity to pay, or most likely to generate cash flow. So you're able to better allocate recovery resources towards higher paying accounts, or higher probability accounts, which ultimately enables you to increase the cash flow. Do you find that the famous 80-20 rule applies here as well, right? Like almost everything else in life, are you getting 80% of your cash flow from, the kind of that top 20% of accounts as you look at
It really does,
analytics?
yes. In answer to your question, yeah, it does.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about how you came up with the idea. I know that you guys, this is more of an internal tool, right? And not something that you're necessarily selling to third parties, but something that you're using to drive the engine of kind of your recovery efforts.
Yeah, it's all proprietary.
Okay. And how has this evolved over time, right? So as you've worked on this product set and you've worked on this algorithm, have you continued to evolve this product in different ways based on new information or things that you've learned?
Yeah, all the time, because then we started to add some of our other divisions to it too. And, we took a lot of the people that were working in those divisions and analyzing those products and kind of brought it into the program also. And that's helped a lot too. So our healthcare division, some of our other divisions, we brought it into.
Have you seen any big changes due to COVID? Like, have you seen, I'm sure that you guys have been continuing to evolve over the last 2 years. Have you seen any major changes or had any adjustments to the platform based on that unique scenario?
The thing that really has affected us during COVID was all the stimulus money that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So what we found were accounts that, showed because of previous pay history with public utilities and things like that, that these consumers that were scoring in the lower quadrants actually had the funds to pay and clear up these past due debts. So we found that the lower score bands actually had a higher recovery rate than what was normally expected. So we adjusted our calling and our lettering campaigns based on that.
Interesting. And where stimulus was, applied almost universally across the board, did you find an incremental shift across the board, or was that shift more dramatic in the lower propensity to pay band?
There was much more dramatic in the lower quadrants. Yeah.
Interesting. So I know that you guys have been working on this product for a long time. Is there anything else that you can tell me kind of about the SASM platform or how it's beneficial to these to the insurance companies and the car rental agencies?
Well, it's
go ahead, Steve.
It's a secret.
It's secret.
Yeah, we don't know.
They got to call. They got to give you a call and talk to you, learn more.
Right.
Yeah, that's offline.
But in all honesty, the benefit is on their older inventory that they've put through other companies that haven't been successful. And then we come around and we've collected millions and millions of dollars with this product. And that's all found money for these carriers and the rental car companies. So that's the benefit for them. They really like to see that found money.
Who doesn't like to find money? I mean,
exactly. Right?
I'm trying to find it. I can't find
it. My first speech before a car dealer convention, I want to say it was like buy here, pay here, back in maybe 2006. I got up on stage and said, "I'm here to give you guys free money. Who here wants free money?" The reaction I got was amazing. I mean, who doesn't want free money? Right?
I bet. Well, that's my kids walk around my house and do all day. So.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. So I know you have the NASP show coming up here soon, and you guys will be manning a virtual booth at the conference again this year.
Yeah, yes. We're excited about that. We did that last year, and you helped us out tremendous with that and did such a fantastic job. And you'll be doing that again, so that's awesome. Yeah, we're excited about that. I'd rather be in person. I don't really personally like all this virtual on the shows, but they just can't do it. The insurance companies will be the slowest of everybody to return to doing that. Think about it, because they
measure risk for a living, right? So I guess they're probably a little more sensitive than those of us in other industries.
They don't want to send their people, so probably, hopefully, next year we'll be back in person, because they're definitely liking that. But we're excited about that coming up.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody that's watching that is going to be attending the NASP show virtually, I highly suggest stopping by the FFAM360 booth and checking it out. Steve and Paul will be there answering questions, having discussions, and they'll also have some great content associated with their booth again this year. For those of you that are watching, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. We'll be responding to questions on both LinkedIn and YouTube. If you have any additional topics that you'd like to see me discuss with these gentlemen, feel free to leave a comment below, or additional guests that you'd like to see me interview on a variety of topics. We're here to continue creating great content for the receivables management space. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me today. I always enjoy a good conversation with you guys, and I feel like I learned something from every interaction. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for participating.
What took you so long to have us on?
I know, right? Can you imagine the challenges of getting the world famous Steve Goldstein on camera? I can't imagine what kind of challenges might come up. You're a busy man, but hey, you're running a large division and you guys have shown incredible growth over the last couple of years.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Awesome, gentlemen. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys again in person at some event in the somewhat near future here. But until then, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys again in the near future.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for having us on. Talk to you soon.